Is it a scam? I decided to record this freeform video without notes because I've heard that so many times, and due to my own experience and in observing others in their experience and listening to some of them talk, I realized that this is on the mind of a lot of people, and there's a reason for that. It's because they have been scammed, or maybe they've been led into a fairly legitimate program, but something just wasn't really structured right, or there was not any support or training. Look, a lot of folks that are looking for an online business, they don't have a lot of experience with business, and their experience with the internet is also limited. But let's go back to the question, is it a scam? I'm going to give you some tips, but the first thing I want to suggest that you don't scam yourself. Here's how people scam themselves. They're actually looking for something that's too good to be true. Yes, they do that. Get rich quick, push button riches, buy this script or buy this program for $29 and you'll be on your way. Excuse me. I'm also going to drink a little coffee while I'm doing this. Sure is good. What is going on is that people have a real need for money. A lot of times it is a pressing need. Many times these people have waited till the 11th hour before really trying to do anything about it. They could even be out of a job. Now let me tell you something. These are the very best times to find a legitimate program and dedicate yourself and start building that program. Now, I would like to say something here. I want to talk about the Federal Trade Commission, and I want to tell you that my business is called the Prosperity Connection, and we saw to it that we would be compliant to the FTC. Here's the difference between a scam and a legitimate business. A scam collects money for nothing or junk, and a legitimate business exchanges goods, services, or commodities in exchange for money. The Prosperity Connection is legally compliant with the FTC. So let's talk a little more about scamming yourself. You will never hear us say anything about getting rich quick. That's an old byword that used to be used frequently by scam artists, but they have since then learned that it's kind of outdated, and people finally realize that it's actually a danger sign, so they don't really use that very much anymore. However, if you're reading some ad copy that suggests something and you're feeling kind of like a get rich quick feeling, better watch it. Don't scam yourself. Let me tell you one more way that people scam themselves. People scam themselves when they think that they can get something for nothing, or that they don't need to put very much effort into what they're doing. Folks, if you are not dedicated, then do not attempt to do any kind of business, whether brick or mortar or online. Now, the cool thing about an online business is where a brick and mortar business might have to shell out $1,000 a month for rent, an online business, and indeed, example given, the Prosperity Connection is a business that you can start for less than $50 a month. And I said earlier that we're compliant because of selling services, goods, or commodities. Well, our main product is education and training. It is in the personal development category. I'm a life coach, pertaining to relationships, marketing, finance and budgeting, and spiritual matters. So I am in a position to render these services at a very fair price. People that are in my field command as much as $100 an hour. Tony Robbins gets $10,000 for a one-day session. I'm working on it. But you have to crawl before you walk, and you have to walk before you run. And that's another thing. Any offer that gives you a sense that you can just be up and running, wide open, making money hand over fist, any kind of alliterations to that effect, forget about it. It is a scam, because what they're doing is they're misleading people. Why is it that there's a 97% failure rate in our industry? There's a reason. People come in with the wrong ideas. The ones who have wrong ideas are easily entangled into, guess what? Scams. So they're scamming themselves by having the wrong attitude. Attitude is everything. You've got to be a realist. Now, it's great to be an optimist, and that certainly helps in a business. But if you are not realistic, you're going to wipe out all over the place, and it's not going to be funny. So don't scam yourself by falling for things that only would appeal to the delusional type of person. Now, I've already run this video for almost 7 seconds, and I got to get on. Let me tell you one of the #1 signs to look out for that'll help you to avoid being scammed. Anytime you get an offer on a website, there's a telltale sign that it's probably a scam. That's when you can find no contact information, no help desk, no way to get information, support, or to remedy issues. Don't do it. Believe me, I've fallen for a few of those, and I counted that as part of my education. You see, I had to get my education the hard way. I had to go out on a trial and error basis, use my best judgment, and sometimes still got fooled. But with age and with experience, I've become a master marketer. And I am creating a group of people and training them to do the same. I want intelligent people who respect brilliance and who appreciate and like to use their brains. Now, by the way, I've written a blog called A No-Brainer, and it is a concept about keeping things simple. And we do that because some things are just way overcomplicated, and even if it's legitimate, if you don't have the experience to go and deal with it, you're going to feel scammed. But again, you scammed yourself because you got in over your head. A lot of these things, you're falling into pits, and it's true that maybe somebody else dug the pit, but you are not being careful and you're falling in the pits. We don't want you to do that. So let me tell you the service that the Prosperity Connection delivers. #1, you get unlimited life coaching from me for $35 a month. Now, that's the entry-level program. We have what we call the Money Power System programs, and that's MPS 35. We've got MPS 56, and we've got MPS 77 and MPS 98. Guess what? We don't make a whole lot of money on the $35 program, but we set it there to be affordable for almost everybody. And if people can't afford $35 a month, guess what? They don't even need to be trying to do a business. Now, I can show you one that only costs $10 a month, and we didn't touch it, and there's a reason why. The PC has certain requirements and parameters before we will certify a program. #1, it has to pay 20% minimum. By the way, the PC pays in the range of 50 to 100%. if you happen to get 100 sales, you would actually be making an average of 93%. This program that I'm telling you about is not a scam, but it's just lame and puny. It's a mere $10, but it only pays you $1 commission on each sale. Now, if you wanted to make $1,000 a month extra in that program, you would have to get 1,000 members. I won't go into the detail of it because I expect you to do our survey and then to call me. And by the way, the link to the survey will be just below this video, and you can click it and go straight to the survey. That survey is for a purpose. We know that tire kickers and the non-serious won't even bother to take a survey. Guess what? That keeps us from being scammed by folks that are just wasting time. And I want to tell you, wasted time and wasted money are the two biggest scams in the whole wide world. Don't be guilty. Anyway, do the survey. I look over the survey in order to get a profile of your wants and needs. Then I sit down and write up a tailor-made program for you. I'll pick up the phone and call you, and we go through your survey, during which I unveil the program that I prescribe to you. Now, again, my services are worth far more than $35 a month, and I'm even going to pay you 100% on some of those sales after you reach certain qualifications. And speaking of qualifications, did you know that average MLMs, and we're not one by the way, but average MLMs require at least 6 to 10 sales before you break even? I've got very good news for you. We set up the 7-Up compensation plan for the PC. That's the Prosperity Connection. And out of your first so many sales, every one of your people that you keep are going to roll up 7 sales to you. I'd like to go into more detail, but I can tell you this: it has a $22,000 a month potential in a perfect world when you make only 20 sales and the people underneath you make only 20 sales. Believe me, we have got an awesome program, and you can break even with only 2 sales. We did that because we didn't want you to be bothered with heavy-duty expenses. And that's another thing. When people try to enroll you and you're a newbie, a novice, you don't have much experience, and they're trying to get you to sign up for a $100 a month BV auto ship, don't do it, because 6 months later you would have spent over $600 and you probably haven't made any sales. Well, I won't go into the psychology of that. Maybe you get it. I hope you get it. Believe me, the Prosperity Connection is set up to be awesome, to be powerful. It is so dynamic that once you get your arms around the concept, you're going to wish that you'd have known about this 20 years ago. I'm fixing to press the button because I've already run close to 14 minutes on this video, and I think that's enough. But remember, start by taking our survey. You'll find a link right below this video. Thank you, and God bless you from the state of Georgia.